Okay, so let's do the back page. I'll try to get through as many of these as I can. I'll probably only get through 10, and then I'll do another video of the calculator portion. So with this one, again, here's my angle. I want to know what angle has a sine of 1. The only place that's going to happen on the unit circle is when the y value is 1, which is up here. So it's the order pair 0 over 1 up, and that happens at pi over 2. So my angle is going to equal pi over 2. Because I have this 3 in front of here, I have to go plus 2 pi k. Okay, so to solve that, I first need to subtract pi over 18, which means this, if I multiply by 9 over 9, would be 9 pi over 18 minus 1 pi over 18 would be 8 pi over 18. So again, I'm just trying to take pi over 2, which is 9 pi over 18, subtract 1 pi over 18. This reduces, so I probably would reduce that first before I do anything else. And I would get 2 goes into each one, so 4 pi over 9. Alright, now we have to divide by 3. So I'm going to get theta equals, when I divide this by 3, I'm going to get 4 pi over 27. Remember, dividing by 3 is like multiplying by 1 over 3. And then this one I divide by 3, I get plus 2 pi k over 3. Alright, so one of my answers is going to be 4 pi over 27. Alright, and then I have to add, if k is 1, remember this is like, if I multiply by 9 over 9, when k is 1, I'm going to get 18 pi over 27. So if I take 18 pi over 27 plus the 24 pi over 27 that I have, that would be 22 pi over 7. And I'm going to write that down here because I think I'm going to run out of room over here. So 22 pi over 7. Or 27, sorry. If k is 2, if I put in k is 2, that's going to be 4 pi times 9, that will be 36 pi, plus the 4 pi, that would be 40 pi over 27. That's still less than 2 pi, because 2 pi would be 54 pi over 27. If I put in k is 3, I'd get 6 times 4, I'd get 54 pi over 27. That's going to be too much. So I know at that point I'm done. Those are my 3 answers. 4 pi over 27, 22 pi over 27, and 40 pi over 27. Again, it kind of makes sense because of that 3 is why I'm getting the 2 answers there. Or the 3 answers, sorry, for that. Okay. This one we have to solve for sine first. So we subtract 3 radical 3. We have to make sure we know how to subtract radicals. So I have 4 sine theta. If I have 1 radical 3 and I take away 3 radical 3, that's negative 2 radical 3. Divide by 4. And when I divide by 4, this is negative 2 over 4 is going to reduce to negative 1 over 2. So it's negative radical 3 over 2. So where's the sign negative radical 3 over 2? Again, that's when the x value is 1/2, the y value is negative radical 3 over 2. So that's a reference angle of pi over 3. So over here, that's going to be 4 pi over 3. And here it's going to be 5 pi over 3. Okay? That one was just solving for sine. Make sure you know what you get when you have 1 radical 3 and take away 3 radical 3's. That was the part we need to make sure you know how to do. Okay, here's another cotangent one, which is sometimes a little bit harder. So I subtract 1, divide by radical 3. And you can rationalize if you want to, but really, when I do have cotangent or tangent, I always draw the picture. So cotangent is going to be negative when both x and y are opposite signs. So here, those 2 quadrants. And so if this is x over y, the x is going to be 1 or negative 1, and the y is going to be radical 3 or negative radical 3, because this, again, it's x over y. And why do we do that? Remember, that just helps us say that, okay, this is 1 squared plus radical 3 squared. It'd be 3 plus 1 is 4. So my radius is 2. So that tells me the cosine is 1/2. The sine is radical 3 over 2. And so that's, again, a reference angle of pi over 3. So over here, a reference angle of pi over 3 would get me 2 pi over 3. And here, the reference angle of pi over 3 would get me 5 pi over 3. My two answers. So when you have that cotangent tangent, one of the ways to solve that is to just draw the picture and then think about what's the cosine and what's the sine. Alright. Last one I'll do on this video is 5 cosecant minus 3 equals 2. So I add 3. Divide by 5. So I want to know where's the cosecant equal to 1, which means the sine, this cosecant doesn't look like it, which means the sine of my angle is also 1, because the reciprocal of 1 is 1. So where's the sine equal to 1? That's the y value. That happens at pi over 2. And I only have the one answer because there's only one place on the unit circle that it equals 1. Okay, so that's the end of that. Well, maybe I could get, let's just do the last 4. I think I can get those quick on here before I run out of time. Remember with these, you're going to use your calculator. You just have to remember that the cosine is positive in 2 places. So I'm going to use my calculator, make sure I'm in radians. I'm in radians. I'm going to do second cosine, or inverse cosine of 0.7. And I get that radian measured, 0.80 when I round that to the nearest hundredth, so 0.80. And again, that's my reference angle here. So if I went all the way around the circle with a reference angle of 0.8, my angle would be 2 pi minus that 0.80. All I'm doing is taking the 2 pi, subtracting my reference angle, I get 5.48. So those are my 2 angles that have a cosine of 0.7. Alright, let's go over here. I have cotangent. Now remember, we don't have an inverse cotangent button, but I do know that the tangent of theta will be the reciprocal of whatever that is. So whatever 5.1, 1 divided by 5.1 is. So you first want to make sure you have it with a trig function that you have, or no. So I'm going to take inverse tan of 1 divided by 5.1. Whoops, sorry, and I get 0.19. That's my answer. So when it's positive, that reference angle, that theta, is 0.19. Where else is the tangent positive? The tangent is positive down here. Same reference angle. So again, I could take pi plus 1.19. So I'm just going to take that answer and hit plus pi. And I get 3.34 rounded to the nearest hundredth, 3.34. My 2 answers. Okay, so you just have to take the calculator answer and then figure out what other answer that you need to find. Alright, with cosecant of theta equals -3. So it tells me the sine of my theta is -1/3. So we need to figure out what angle that is. So when I use my calculator for that one, inverse sine of -1/3, I get -0.34. Alright, now, remember the calculator gives you that negative answer down here, -0.34. I can't use -0.34 because that's not in my range of answers I need. So I need to name this angle that has a negative sign with that reference angle, and this angle over here has a negative sign with that reference angle. So what I need to do is I need to first of all take pi minus that answer, and then I need to take 2 pi minus that answer to get my 2. Remember, I can't use the one the calculator gives me. It just, that basically is giving me my reference angle. Now I have to find the 2. So I have to take pi plus 0.34. I get 3.48. That's one angle. And then I have to take 2 pi and subtract that. So I'm going to take 2 pi and subtract the 0.34. I get 5.94. There's my 2 answers for that one. All right, and then the last one. This one we have to be a little bit careful because we have that 2 theta there. So real quick, we're going to do inverse sine of 0.25. And I get 0.25. So I know 2 theta is going to equal 0.25. Well, the other place that the sign is positive is over here. And so if I take pi plus 2 pi minus that, sorry, I get 2.89. Oh, sorry, 2.89. But this one, because of that 2, I have to write plus 2 pi k. And now I need to solve each of those. I'm going to probably run out of time. So I divide each of those by 2 and get my 2 answers. I'm going to run out of time, so look on the answer key for that one.